Hello horror fans, and welcome back to Dead by Daylight. In this episode, we're going to go over the new PTB Tools of Torment covering the new killer, the Skull Merchant. The difficulty for this killer is hard. The Skull Merchant is a tactical killer able to place drones that detect and debilitate her targets. Her personal perks, Game of Foot, Whack, and Leverage allow her to gain haste from pursuing your obsession, force screams from survivors when breaking walls or pallets, and reduce survivors' heal speed the more times you place them on hooks. So let's go into her character, look at her lore, and her perks. Alright, so first up we have her power, Eyes in the Sky. Inspired by the dark mangas created by her father, the Skull Merchant relentlessly hunts her prey using the latest in surveillance technology. The Skull Merchant starts the trial with 4 drones. Pressing the power button places a drone, which enters active mode after a short boot up period. In this mode, the drone creates a detection zone around itself. Within it, the killer is undetectable and survivors gain lock-on progress. The drone reverts to scouting mode when no survivor is detected for a while. There we can see one of the drones, and it's got an upside-down skull to it. Very cool. In scouting mode, the drone begins a sweeping scan, and if it finds a survivor, it re-enters active mode. Survivors can interact with the drone to disable it. If they fail, it enters active mode. If they succeed, it returns to the killer, but the survivor is stuck with a claw trap. Special effect, Claw Trap. A claw trap broadcasts the survivor's location to the killer until its battery dies. If they get too close to a drone, it enters active mode, and the claw trap's battery is recharged. The killer can press the ability button to open radar to see the locations of survivors with claw traps and those in a detection zone. Alright, so this is a fairly complicated killer here, it seems like. Special effect, Lock On. When full, the survivor is revealed by Killer Instinct while inside the drone's detection zone and suffers from the exposed status effect until the meter discharges or they are put into the dying state. Alright, so, as I said, we'll have to see how that works, but fairly complicated ability here for the killer. Let's check out her perks. Alright, so we have Thwack. Your prey is terrified by your relentless pursuit. After hooking a survivor, the next breakable wall or pallet you break will make survivors within a certain distance scream and reveal their aura for 4 seconds. Then we have Leverage. Like in business, you profit most when those around you suffer most. Each time you hook a survivor, gain 1 token, up to 10. When you hook a survivor, this perk activates. For each token, reduces the speed at which survivors heal by 3% for 30 seconds. So neither perk is really that great there so far. We also have Blood Worgen is temporarily disabled. Interesting. Alright, looking for her last perk. Here we go. Game of Foot. First you pick your prey, then you pick it apart. While you're chasing the obsession, the perk activates. Damaging generators and breaking walls or pallets gives you 5% haste status for 8 seconds. Whenever you hit the survivor with the total most time in chase with a basic attack, they become the obsession. Interesting. None of her perks really strike me as that powerful, but I guess we'll have to see. See what her add-ons will be like. Alright, her iridescent add-ons. Unpublished manuscript. Before he disappeared, Adriana's father had started a newer, darker manga. Sanhadoras Sombrios. Activating a drone causes it to gain a 32 mirror terror radius for 15 seconds. This effect can only be applied to 1 drone at a time. Increases the activation cooldown by 25%. So basically, the drone gets terror radius for a short time. Interesting. The cutting-edge design for prototype rotor allows the drone to move with razor-sharp precision. Gain a 5% haste status effect when entering a drone's active zone triggered by a survivor. This effect does not stack and can only trigger once per active drone. This effect is lost when hitting a survivor. Alright, so not that huge. Advanced movement prediction. Even after they leave the zone of influence, a refined AI program predicts with high accuracy where a person will go next. Survivors that enter a drone's active zone have their auras revealed for 6 seconds. Personally, I think this one's a better perk here. The batteries of these claw traps, expired batteries, of these claw traps have been swapped out with old alkaline batteries. Recharging is not recommended. All survivors start the trial with a claw trap, increases the battery life of the starting claw traps by 150%. These claw traps do not recharge and are automatically destroyed when the battery is empty. So basically, you can see where the survivors are right from the bat. That is a pretty good thing. But there's a perk that already does that, so not exactly sure. Geographical readout. The drones generate and communicate a detailed 3-dimensional map of the terrain, making transversal easier. While in a drone's active zone, gain a 2% haste status effect and a 15% action speed bonus to breaking pallets and breakable walls, damaging generators, and vaulting. These effects linger for 15 seconds after leaving the area. Alright. Randomized strobes. Lights flash randomly on the ground, making it harder to find purchase on uneven terrain. Survivors that enter a drone's active zone suffer from a 5% hindered status effect for 3 seconds. So that could be interesting as well. Alright, so we've gone over sort of the main perks. I'm sure the other versions of the perks are just watered down versions of those. And we have covered her ability. In the following video, I'm going to go over her lore, and in the video after that, I'm going to show her actual gameplay as well as her Mori. So, if you enjoyed the video, please go ahead and click that like button. If you've not already, please subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon, so that you're aware when I produce new videos in the future. Thank you, and I hope to see you all again in the fog.